Welcome to Spirit in the Frame, the podcast about art that unnerves, enchants, and sometimes demands offerings. I'm your host, Dave Zilla, illustrator, witch, tarot designer, and part-time ghost therapist. If you like your art steeped in symbolism, cryptically coded, and maybe a little haunted, you're in the right place. Today, it's just you, me, and a topic pulled from the shadows. Welcome back. I'm sorry I was away. Had a lot of stuff going on at home, but hey, got some quick art news before we get into today's topic, which is a very popular one, and I know a lot of you have been asking about it, and that's Austin Osman Spare. But first, let's get into some art news. Lenora Carrington at the Dreamweaver at Katona Museum of Art, opening July 13th. That was 2 days ago. This exhibition features over 30 rarely seen works by surrealist Lenora Carrington, exploring themes of folklore, mysticism, and the occult. It gives a very deep dive into her vivid, otherworldly scenes. And I will have links to all these below. On number 2, we've got Toxic Birds of Metaphysics. This is by Tamara K.E. at the Polina Berlin Gallery. Her solo exhibition, which opened on the 7th, presents a series of works that delve into metaphysical themes, and they blend abstract forms with esoteric symbolism. The show invites viewers to explore the intersection of art and the mysticism. Ugly Talents and Unholy Saints at the Salem Art Gallery. I'm thrilled to share my friend Sean from Crap Factory is one of the featured artists in Ugly Talents, Unholy Saints. The show dives deep into the sacred and the profane, and Sean's glitchy, iconoclastic work fits right in. Haunted, holy, and unapologetically raw. Sean has long championed my own work, and so I'm really happy to see him getting some well-earned spotlight on his tour across the world. If you're anywhere near Salem, please go check it out. The exhibition runs through early 2026, and there's more at the salemartgallery.com. Back to the grimoire. There's an open call at the Glenhurst Art Gallery. They're seeking submissions for the biannual juried exhibition. This is focused on emerging artists in the occult genre. And the deadline for submissions is July 30th. You can find out more at akimbo.ca. There's a pilgrimage show at the Blue Lotus Gallery running until, well, I guess it just ended. This exhibition explores pilgrimage as both a physical journey and an inner spiritual quest, featuring works that delve into sacred landscapes and esoteric themes. Really sorry I didn't get that out sooner. I planned on it. My bad. Also this week, July 17th, is the 73rd anniversary of the tragic death of Jack Parsons back in 1952. He wasn't an artist, but I'll probably have to do an episode on him sometime too, just because he was such an amazing innovator and had such a big influence. All right, now let's shift back from galleries of today and go back to the crack streets of Edwardian London. So, who was Austin Osman Spare? If you don't know, I mean, most of you probably do, but if you don't, he was born in 1886, definitely a teenage art prodigy. He was exhibiting at the Royal Academy at a very young age, and expected to go great places, but he rejected all of that. He didn't want anything to do with the galleries, walked away from all that fame and chose mysticism instead, to our great benefit. He did not draw like pictures of people generally. He mostly drew spirits, demons, gods, art as ritual, sketches as invocations, a lot of automatic drawing. He was early into that, and I think he probably influenced a lot of the surrealists on that too. And that's just, I'm just speculating on that, but because he was so early in automatic drawing and using it as a tool to communicate with the spirit world, he developed something called the Alphabet of Desire. That was his personal sigil system, and he was basically like breaking desire into letters and then charging them with will. And you may know that he is seen as kind of the forerunner of chaos magic, and in particular of sigil magic. His particular style is very popular and is basically the one we use today, most chaos magicians anyways. He's called that father of chaos magic. He would not have liked that, though, I'll tell you that. He also had a brief relationship with Thelema and Aleister Crowley. Crowley, depending on your sources, usually I think Kenneth Grant's probably the most safest source, but he apparently had a couple of really bad things to say about Crowley. He called him a pimp for perverted romantics and an amateur of the worst kind, one who boasts of his knowledge and achievements. Both of which, you got to admit, for that time of period, those are pretty sick burns. But, basically, lone wolf, no interest in occult pecking orders, wanted to do everything himself. During World War II, a blitz bombing destroyed his home. Lost, basically, almost all his art and notes. And his physical ability. He had a stroke and lost ability in one arm. But he kept working with the other hand and drawing. He eventually got his arm back, as I believe. He died 10 years after Crowley in 1956. Pretty much unknown, unfortunately. But now he's kind of the patron saint of weird art, and his legacy definitely lives on in zines, chaos magicians, and glitch artists, and there's a huge resurgence in occult art circles today with him. I'd love to read you some quotes from him, because not only was he a brilliant artist, but he was a really good writer, if a bit obscure and thick sometimes. So, the soul is the ancestral animals, the body their knowledge. All desire is unendurable. It smolders in the ashes of madness. I bring a sword that contains its own medicine, the sour milk that cureth the body. I am possessed by my ancestors, but I am not they. So, Spare didn't want followers, he just wanted seekers. His art wasn't meant to be seen, but used. His drawings were spells, and his sketches were mirrors. And I'll leave you with this. What the soul is to the body, so is the artist to his people. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will, if you liked it, leave a like, subscribe, if that matters to you, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. If this episode whispered something strange in your ear, go ahead and click like. Maybe even subscribe. Cool kids subscribe, so do witches, ghosts, and the occasional cryptid with Wi-Fi.